Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mystifying College Admissions podcast. I am really excited to talk about today's topic, which is should you be selecting a hard major versus an easier major to get into college? And this idea came to me because when I was coaching one of my accepted club students, his question was, okay, I have two Bs. I will be getting straight A's down the road, and I know that, but I still want to make sure that I'm choosing a major that will increase my chances of getting accepted. And plus, one of the things I like to do with my students is I'll say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you towards the major that you are selecting here? And it's normal, right? Because when you're a high school student, you don't have a lot of experiences, and the school that you go to, they have a very strict curriculum, and you're just kind of following and doing a science class and history class and math class, and it does not allow for you to really explore what you're passionate about, what major you want to go into. And so many students will fall under that rating of like 4, 5, 6, like, oh, I kind of want to do engineering, but I'm not sure, or I don't know what type of engineering. We have this question a lot with our pre-med students as well, and business students and law students. And so I thought I would go ahead and talk about this topic today because I think it is so important. And the first thing that I do with my students on our very first one-on-one call is we'll go ahead and identify the major. It is a part of the strategy. And many people think, oh, I'll just choose my major a little bit later when I apply to college. And the answer is no, because you have to identify your major and build evidences around that major. And that's what's going to help you stand out in this process, because we don't want you to do random things here and there and try to piece it all up together before you apply. And so we'll go ahead and talk about this today. And before we get started, I wanted to let you know that I'm hosting a free live training this coming Wednesday. And you can reserve your free seat at passionprep.com/live. And this is where you will learn what are the new trends and policy changes with college admissions process, any mistakes you should be avoiding, and what are the actual strategies that you could apply right away after the training. So I hope that you attend, and the seats are very limited, so make sure you register and enter the Zoom room as soon as possible so that you are fully ready to soak in all the information. And for those of you who want more one-on-one support with your college admissions process, we have a premier one-year college counseling program, Accepted Club. This is entirely one-on-one, and you get unlimited support from me and my coaches. And so the Accepted Club program details are at passionprep.com/Accepted Club. All the links will be in the show notes so that you can go ahead and check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. And just by the way, it's October right now, and it's still hot in Dallas, Texas. And I'm like, when can I wear my cozy sweater? And actually I'm recording this on video too, and I am wearing something a little bit cozy, but I want, full fall vibes here. Okay, so hard major versus easy major. UC Berkeley announced that 80% of their students change their majors at least once during their undergraduate study, and I also want to assume that applies to so many other colleges. When you are in high school, you think you know what you want to do, and actually the most frequently question that I get asked on my coaching call is, I want to choose a major that will fit my career, and what should that be? And my way of reorienting the way that you're thinking about this process is that colleges do not really care about your career goals. If you look at all of their essays, whether it is personal statement essay prompt or supplemental essays, nowhere in there are they asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I know that's a question you got asked a lot growing up from your family members, but it's really about what do you want to study and who are you in the place of your community. And so they want to know why you want to come to their college and study XYZ major. So we need to refocus that, because sometimes when we talk about the word career, so many of my students they're adorable. They say, oh, but I have to do this for the rest of my life, and so I need to really make sure I choose the right career for me. And I say, no, not really. There's a lot of career switching these days. Harvard, if I were to just take a look at it as an example, they want students who are focusing on interdisciplinary studies. And so the world is changing. Let me tell you that. It's nowhere like, okay, I'm just going to do this major and that's going to be my career and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. You have to make something out of yourself in today's time. You know, everyone could come out of UPenn or Harvard or Stanford or USC or, all of these top tier colleges and not be so successful in their own terms. And some people can come out of the same college and make a lot of connections, network, you're using your passion and strength, and then you become so much more successful, again, in your own terms. Everyone's definition of success is different, so I'm going to leave that up to you. But so here are some examples. For when a student says, okay, I want to major in business, I let them know, okay, well, not every college that you're interested in has a business program for undergraduate students. And so for those colleges, what is the alternative major going to be? And I recommend economics as one of them, applied mathematics, a little bit of psychology or sociology. Psychology, I'm kind of turning away from because I saw that the admit rate for one of the psychology departments at UC Berkeley was like 5% or something. It's like as competitive as computer science majors. And so we always want to look at the student's resume and say, okay, let's go ahead and choose a major that makes sense, that really supports your academic interests, that supports your values, but let's try to find something that might be a easier way for you to get in, because when you get into college, you can change your major. That process is not that difficult, and it's called the in-transfer process. And when I was at USC, I was studying at Marshall School of Business. I've had so many of my friends and classmates transfer in from other majors like psychology or economics. It was an easy way to get in. I know some schools have restrictions on that, but I would say, more than 95% of the colleges will be very open to you transferring into a school. And most majors, they're under the letters of arts and sciences, and so you will be able to transfer in and out pretty quickly. Okay. With engineering, if a student shows good GPA and SAT scores, we will go for an engineering major, and obviously we'll try to build up a lot of extracurriculars around it. But the question is always, what type of engineering? There is so many types. It's kind of like the same thing with business. How when you go into business, there's a lot of concentrations. And so now my goal is, okay, we are going to go for the hard major engineering, but what type? And selecting what type is also a strategy. And within the type, there's a hard engineering major and there's a easier engineering major. So we'll strategize that. And then with pre-med students, it's the same thing. Are we going to do biology, chemistry, physiology, anatomy, applied mathematics, statistics? There's so many ways for us to position the student. And so pre-med is not a major. So you have to understand that fully. So we have to choose a specific science major that you're going to say, okay, that is going to be my major. And then these are the things that I'm going to use for my extracurriculars to support that. So that could be a research position, competitive summer program, networking with certain physicians or researchers, whatever it is. But again, even within pre-med, I have to be very careful as a college counselor to help my student choose a major that is easier, because then that's a way that we can really help our students stand out. A lot of people think the major that I choose is going to be something that is going to be my identity, but when you get into college, you're still going to be given a pre-label. So pre-business, pre-medicine, so there's always going to be that pre, and that is there because you're not officially declared as that major, and you have to take a lot of prerequisites. And the intermediate and advanced classes that you take, those are some things that you will take as a junior in college too. So the first 2 years, you're still kind of continuing on that pattern of high school classes, to be honest with you. So selecting a good major is really important. And by good, I mean, number one, it has to support your academic interests, because I don't want to recommend you a major that is totally off topic just so that you can get into the college. And number two, it has to be a major that is a little bit easier for you to get in. And then sometimes I ask students who are very competitive, like they have good extracurriculars and good GPA and SAT scores, and I say, hey, do you want to go for the competitive and the hard major, even though you know that it's going to be competitive? Should we just go for it, or should we not? And that's kind of the discussion that I have with my students and their parents. And some say, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's try our best and try to get into that major. And some say, actually, if choosing another easier major is going to help me get in with a higher chance, then let's go to do that easier major because I know I could always switch it back easily. So that's another thing for you to definitely consider. Yeah, this is a very nuanced topic because there's no like, hey, this is the major that you should apply to because it depends on the student's GPA, SAT scores, extracurricular activities, their values in life, even families' values. I mean, college admissions process is very family-oriented process, and so it's very nuanced. So if you need help with any of this and you want to really sit down and talk to me about your concerns and your dilemmas regarding selecting a major, we would love to support you inside the Accepted Club program. Again, the link is passionprep.com Accepted Club. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I also wanted to let you know that we have an Instagram account. It's Passion Prep. Just have to type that in and it'll come up. I share a lot of insights and resources there as well. So please go ahead and check it out. Connect, and so we can show you more BTS of Passion Prep and our student success. And I also shared like my daughter's photos sometimes and me getting ready and doing my makeup sometimes. I think, college admissions process is a very scary, competitive, and lonely process. And I just want to make it feel like a more personable experience, to all the students and families out there. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode today, and I'll be back here with another one next week. Have a great week.